Hi, here I will talk about structure of data tables and plots, mostly ggplots. Why ggplot name? I suppose it comes from grammar of graphics, a sort of conceptual work suggesting how to do this grammar graphics properly. Or maybe from grid graphics, it is a package which is sitting behind the ggplot. Overall, ggplot suggests more diversity of scientific illustrations in general, more possibilities, more options. The tables we used before for base graphics were a sort of a wide type where all the data in a table are of the same kind. Is it a gene expression or temperature or length or score? And the number of columns is a number of samples. It can be small, but it also can be very large. And they all go wide in horizontally. And another type of tables you probably met already in SPSS. They're redundant, they're hanging after another in a sort of sausage style. And this is another example, data about three experiments with rabbits on our dataset, biology by the way, where you see animals, one animal, two animal, three animal, and then they are treated with some dose of some drug, and then there's some changes recorded, and then this group is a control group, and they are down the table there will be experimental group. This is a sort of a long table, and there are some tools converting wide table into a long table, and it proves the point that after conversion those data tables become narrower and longer. What we have to know that these sort of tables are good for ggplots, and it's nearly impossible for base graphic illustration. ggplot can be found in tidyverse or on its own. You probably go to tidyverse and learn the instructions and primary help and tutorials out of there. And then in your script you can call ggplot or tidyverse, which will import ggplot as a part of it. For examples, you can go to STHDA, although it's not a genuine ggplot there, and always in Stack Overflow you find all examples of all kinds. This is a starting page of tidyverse where you see ggplot coming, but also string and some other packages which you might be interested in. What's the difference in calling plots in base graphics and ggplot? In base graphics you call, for instance, plot, and you know what you're calling. You're calling scatter or line plot or both, and then you fill the variables inside the parameters, and then you have what you ask. In ggplot is a different story. The first line and the major line ggplot only reads your data, but nothing happens. If you only write one line, there will be no figure. What you have to do, you have to add plus at the end, which means and, not add. And then you say, for instance, geometric line, and then geometric line will appear. Indeed, it will be a line plot. And if it's not enough, you say plus, give me a custom colors, plus, give me a title, plus, give me a X label plus a Y label, and it can go on and on. So it's all inside out. This is particular example for paper prices. There will be another video for it. That's the real case. What happens then that the table, which seems to be impossible to illustrate with the base graphics, can be easily illustrated by GGplot. Again, literally, you read that rabbit's table, you say what is for X, for Y, what is for color, which is actually not a color, but it is a separator by which column you separate your data by animal. And then for each animal, this is a case of half the data. For the controls, you see 5 lines appearing that upon the dose of some injected drug, they have something about heart. You have a blood pressure response on some dose of a drug. There are also some difficulties. GGplot style is so diverse, and there are several parallel options, how you call it, that it really takes effort to learn this stuff. The amount of parameters and options to learn is much bigger, which comes with the flexibility advantage. And this is an example that you can call box plot in 3 different ways. And I think this case is a favorite for STHDA. The original style is in GGplot. As I said, you call GGplot plus boxplot plus scale colors, meaning custom colors, and something else. Then boxplot will appear. Or you can call ggpub, which is publication ready library. Then instead of ggplot, you call in ggboxplot directly, and then try to fill all these parameters inside one function. But if it's not enough, you can continue with a plus after this ggplot, plus some extra, and it will be also understood. So they're fully compatible. And the third version is that you call ggplot boxplot out of easy-gplot2, and maybe there are many more. Then again, you stuff things inside, and if you run out of option, then you continue with the adding plus and some more and more lines. And here we can briefly visit ggplot from tidyverse page, which is again refers to grammar of graphics. How to install, you see it. How to call it, and a few examples. There are not. It's not a full tutorial. It's almost nothing over here. This is very useful. You can visit the gallery of ggplot, and it's quite an amount of the information. And here probably you can really come and check your favorites, but be aware that these are extra packages built on the ggplot, and the ggpub, which I already mentioned, is also here. You have to install this stuff separately, but the amount and the quality of these plots is stunning indeed.